What's happening? So today I'm going to be talking about assets, because assets are truly the only thing that will set you free in this world is if you know how to accumulate assets. And this video is a little bit different than most videos about talking about how to create assets, what an asset is. But if you stick with me, I'll explain exactly how I came up with this and how you can actually get assets in your life and create freedom like myself. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Matt Petruso. I own an insurance agency, in a real estate investment company. I've done over $10 million in sales, and I make these videos because I was broken, not in control of my life, and I was able to create a pretty amazing life, and I'm still building on that life, but I'm just making these videos to share what I've learned on the journey and what I'll continue to learn and share with you. So if that interests you and you want to learn how to build some assets to create freedom in your own life, stick with me and I'll give you hopefully some nuggets that'll help you along the journey. So I used to think about assets as, basically this assets and liabilities, chart of an asset is something that, pays you, right? And a liability is something that you pay for, right? So I used to only think about assets in dollars and cents, which is great, and that will create financial freedom in your life. So you do have to understand what an asset is on a financial side. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between something that is going to be maybe a little bit more upfront work. You have to put a little bit more time, effort, and energy into. But once you create something that's an asset, you don't have to recreate the wheel every time, right? Like all you have to do is maintain that asset, and it grows, right? It compounds, and it's vitally important to understand just the financial side of it, but also the things that are not as tangible as just dollars and cents, which can be life experiences, right? Assets, like even like your brand, your name, like we talk about a lot of this like social media stuff, right? Like your brand is an asset. Your name, your word, who you are is an asset, because and it's probably one of the most important assets, right? Because if you do not take care of your asset, your body, your mind, your character of who you are, and like for instance, you do not actually do the things you say you're going to do to other people, why would they trust you to be an asset to them, right? Let alone an asset to yourself. So that's the first thing. So like maybe that's not as tangible as just a building that might pay you every month as an asset, but you are the number one asset. And if that asset is depreciating in value, right? Why would somebody want a depreciating asset? You as the asset should always be improving. You as the asset should always be seeking to grow, right? You as an asset, if you see that, you can now think about life as all the skills, information, failures, right, are now just bits of information to build a better asset, which is you, okay? And the way you can think about this is every single thing that's a benefit to making your life better in one way or another is an asset that you can stack in your assets chart, right? So like you can literally write out a chart of all the things in your life, like experiences, relationships, literally your health, right? Every time you do something that is beneficial to you, that now you can just stack upon, right? It becomes an asset in your life. And a lot of people don't even start the process of this because they think that they're so far behind, right? Like I was gonna give a stat, and I'll give it, but like I looked at one of my stats of the policies that I've sold as an agency just within the past, I think 8 years since I started my agency. We've sold over 4,236 policies. Not all of them are obviously still active. Not all of them are still even clients maybe, but we at least sold that many, right? We've gotten PO signatures on that many sales. And people are like, oh man, that's a lot. So now you're like intimidated, so you don't even start. But like, there's tons and tons of people that are ahead of me, and at some point I had 0, right? And the things that will stack are the little pieces of life that you make every day. And if you just go out every day and try and stack assets to your life, then your life eventually will have all of these major assets built up, and it's a compounding effect. So don't think that you're so far behind so you never start at all, so you stay at 0, right? Why do you want to stay at 0 if you have the possibility of getting to whatever number is right for you? Because if you compare somebody, there's always going to be somebody that's ahead of you, there's always somebody that's ahead of me, but the assets of your life, being able to look at it from an objective perspective is, hey, I had 0 at one point, now I have sold 4,000 things. Like for instance, on my Airbnbs, I have over 1,200 reviews, right? At first I had 0, right? So people are like, oh, well, that's a lot. How many times it's gonna take me to get those? Well, why do you think about so far in the future? You just think about, what are you gonna do tomorrow to stack one little thing to your asset column? And if you think of your life as every day, how can I stack, a financial asset, a mental asset, a physical asset, a relationship asset to my life? Your life will be much better, and it will create freedom in every sense of the world. So hopefully this was helpful. It helped me a lot thinking, outside of just the box of financial, but just actually freedom in my mind, freedom in my body, freedom to live a life on my terms. So hopefully, if you liked it, like the video, subscribe, comment below, follow me on Instagram, MOVMATT, and there's a lot more fun stuff going on. So talk to you soon. Peace.